I'm Fletcher Brown, and for the first time at Kicks 96, our artist video blog, we welcome from Nashville, Tennessee, distance. We're doing the distance thing, which I'm still learning to navigate the waters of Zoom and all of these distance artist visits. But please welcome for the first time to kicks96country.com, Emma White. Emma, how are you?
Hello, I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Oh, we love that we can still have new artists like you. And I'm going to deal with that just to give me just a second. But new artists like you, and I say new because new to Kicks Country, still visiting us. You can't physically be here in the studio, which we always prefer. But we can still talk to you, and we can learn about you and learn about your music. And now I said I was going to qualify new. Emma, you're not new. You've actually been knocking around Nashville for a little bit now, and you've made quite a few raves. Rolling Stone calls you one of their 10 new country artists that you need to know, and I couldn't agree more. I remember in 2019, I was telling you right before we picked up in this meeting, I was watching the video for last year's 10-Year Town, and gosh, that song is just beautiful. And it's still, I saw the name. I was like, I know this name. And I was like, and I remember that song. And then now the new song, the current single, That's Why I Drink, again, beautiful. Now, Emma, really quick, since I'm introducing you to my audience for the first time, talk to us a little bit about Emma White, where you're from, and how music became your voice.
So I'm originally from Baltimore, Maryland. And in Baltimore, I grew up loving like R&B and country music because that's what Baltimore is.
Mm-hmm.
Like this combo completely. And so I don't know. I always loved music. My mom was a songwriter. My dad has written a song. My grandmother wrote songs. So it was just in the family, and it was sort of like there was no choice. It was sort of like, this is what I do from day one. So yeah.
And Baltimore, now a lot of people don't realize that Baltimore is not unknown for music. There's a lot of really, really great music that's come out of Baltimore over the last 75 years.
Yeah. When I was growing up, like, it was funny, like friends of mine were more, and they were performing in like punk bands, I guess, rock pop. But there are a lot of country fans there for sure.
Absolutely. All right. So in 2017, you released your self-titled EP, and you also started your own record label. I have to say, Emma, you, in just the last 3 years, just since 2017, you have shown that you are committed to not just making music, but really making music your life. Where does that come from? I mean, you've admitted that there's musical talent in your family, but did you just say this career choice that I've made, it's something that I have to own at that level? Because I mean, many artists will just go to Nashville and just be like, "Hey, put me in front of a crowd." But you've taken full ownership of your career, of your sound, of everything. Where does that come from?
I feel like I just always have felt deep down that I was meant to do it, and I care about music so much, and I feel like several things inspired the label, but I feel like the value of music has kind of gone down as like technology has changed, and it just kills me because like music is like a soul connection for me, and I feel like I can't help but want to like control every piece of it because I care about music staying not relevant but just respected, and I feel like there's been like a loss of that lately, or in the last 10 years. I just feel like things have changed so much that the business can't keep up with the technology, and so you have songwriters who songwriters have to work a million jobs. They can't just write songs, and I don't know, I'm just like very obsessed.
Yeah. Well, 10-Year Town was very much about your struggles in coming to the front in Nashville, and in last year you started the record label with your good friend, and in part to kind of help bring female artists into the forefront.
Yeah.
That was something that was clearly very important to you. Can you talk to us a little bit about that, about your opinions there?
Yeah. So like I felt like I had dedicated my whole life to music, and I would go on meetings. I was really looking for a publishing deal, and I had several meetings that were just like, we're not looking for female songs. And it was completely gender based. And I even was told, like, we think you're a great songwriter, but we're not looking for female songs. And like, growing up, like, I never thought I would encounter that kind of conversation.
Mhm.
And so it just kind of like fueled this desire to show people that it's really like what you choose to invest in is what makes the marketplace, not the other way around. And I think there were just so many men on the radio for a period where people just stopped being interested in signing women and developing them. And I just really feel like there's a need to not let the female voice disappear.
Oh, absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. And on that note, who are maybe some of your, the female artists who are dearest to your heart, as far as like, I look at that artist and say, that's where I draw my inspiration from.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Taylor Swift is one of my faves.
Oh, she's an amazing songwriter.
She's amazing, and yeah, she's something else, just all around. And I loved the Dixie Chicks growing up. They're why I was introduced to country music. Well, the Chicks now.
Mhm.
Um, I loved Shania Twain. Um, I also love pop artists. Like I love Lady Gaga just for her openness and her ability to really like bring people together about different issues. And yeah, I guess the Dixie Chicks. I'm always gonna say Dixie Chicks. They were my favorite growing up.
I still say it. I mean, if I meet him, I'll be like, "Hey, Dixie Chicks." I'm just never going to know you as anything
I know. So
else. All respect, I'll never know you as anything else.
after, but yeah, I mean, and even today, like I love Kelsey Ballerini, Mary
Mhm.
Morris. Like I love the female artists that are coming up today too. So
Okay. All right. So now the current single is "That's Why I Drink," correct?
yes.
Okay. So again, just another beautiful song. You've been described as genre bending, and you yourself admit to country and R&B influences and things like that. That's why I drink. The title alone just it screams, country radio.
Yeah.
Because I mean, let's face it, there's a lot of country songs about drinking and hurting and whatnot. Tell us about this song. Is this one that you wrote, co-wrote, or is this one that you found?
So I co-wrote this with Brinley Addington and Neil Medley in Nashville, and I originally like had this chorus and title, and I was being stubborn, and I was like, I really want to write this alone, like just to prove that I can do it. But um, I brought it to Brinley and Neil, and it was definitely the right thing to do because like I'm kind of always the concept title person, and
Mhm.
then Nashville's full of great songwriters, and it was definitely a team effort, and they made it what it is. Like I was kind of telling them this story about like I feel like country music is so much. There's so many drinking songs, and I wanted to write one that was like a little bit more, um, just like had a little bit more meaning to it, and it was kind of about my own family's experiences with recovery and dealing with alcoholism, and I wanted to like shine a light on that. So it's both like it feels like a party song, but I just wanted to like insert some truth into it and just like give a different spin to a drinking song. So
Well, I was going to ask you about that because I actually just listened to the song again, like right before we logged on here, and I did note that it was more than just a country party song about drinking.
yeah,
Um, and it's obvious that in your songwriting, it's important that your stories have layers and levels and things. Um, for the listener to get in, because like I said, I'd heard the song before, and on a second listen I'm just like, there's really more to this than I heard the first time.
yeah.
And you do that on purpose, and you do that very, very well. Well, talk to us a little bit now about the album that is this on this project is forthcoming. Talk to us a little bit about this process. How has it been for you as an artist and a record label owner to navigate the recording industry in the time of the COVID-19 pandemic? And I know it's not easy, but talk to us a little bit about your experiences and how you're dealing with that.
Yeah, I mean, at first I was just terrified, like everybody else. I'm like, am I gonna be able to keep doing this? And obviously we can't perform, but I've kind of just pivoted to like live streams and doing this, which is so fun. You can like meet so many more people, and it was always here, but I didn't even know what Zoom was like. You know? And now it's like my favorite thing. It's all I can talk about and be like, I'm on it every day. So it's so in a way it's been really I don't know, like liberating in a way, even though it's scary, but it's like weird time and we're all in it together. So I think that like lessens the intensity of it a little bit. But I've done some recording like distantly, and I've just been working on new demos because I would like to have like a proper like debut album.
Yeah.
So I've just been like kind of workshopping all these different songs, and yeah,
Do
it's
you
still
feel
music, but just not perform.
as a young artist, do you feel like this technology is pushing the industry and from not just the artist side, but also from the production and label ownership side, promotion side? Do you think that this technology, like what we're using and what you've just described, is actually pushing the industry in a direction that maybe no one can predict? Like, what do you see as far as like 5 years down the road, do you think?
I mean, I don't know. It's like a whole, you know, people are live streaming every day, and like from a business perspective, I'm just thinking about like, you know, no one's, if people are covering songs online, like no one's making money from that. Like
Hmm.
it's just out there and it's going to be permanent. And that's like, that'll be the next wave of like people who are concerned about copyrights, like coming in and like flagging all these live streams.
Hmm.
Um, but also I feel like it's really okay because it's sort of still an audience builder and you just want people to find your music anyway. And they hear something they like on a live stream, they're going to go to your Spotify. So it's sort of not a bad thing. And yeah, I mean, it's kind of insane.
I agree 100%. It is insane. Well, our guest is Emma White, and her single is "That's Why I Drink," and I couldn't recommend it enough. I love meeting and talking to new artists that their music is exciting to me, and I mentioned I think I first encountered you with 10 Year Town was the first song of yours I heard last year, and I was so excited to hear that the quality of your sound is consistent, from then to now, and I can't recommend that enough. So really quick, Emma, before we say goodbye, if anyone watching our video is desperate to learn all they can about Emma White and hear all the music that they can get, which I recommend, tell them where they can go and find you online.
I'm probably most active on Instagram. I'm on at Emma White Music, and then Spotify and Apple Music, of course. Any kind of like digital streaming platform, I'm on.
All right. You're going to hear a lot about Emma White in the future. She's a big deal. I promise you, when you hear her music, you will understand why. Emma, thanks so much for joining us. And we do hope that sometime, if we ever get back to what's actually normal, you can actually come visit us here in Muscle Shoals, okay?
Definitely. Oh, and I'm supposed to tell you, Elise, do you know Elise Anderson? And
I do. Yes. Avery was my intern for a couple of years.
I just talked to Elise. She's like,
those again, brilliant women up there in Nashville. You guys are doing all of you are doing amazing things. So, and we're proud to know you. Emma White is our guest, and the song "That's Why I Drink." If you want to hear it, make sure you call us at Kicks 96, and I will happily play it for you because I'm probably going to play it anyway. So, once again, Emma White, good luck up there, and hopefully we'll get back to normal, and then you and Elise and Avery can all come down, and we'll all go for coffee. Sound good?
Sounds good.
All right, Emma White. All right, Emma White, thank you for being here, and we'll talk to you next time on another artist video blog at kicks96country.com.